So I'm going to start with the weekly technical analysis as we always do. Okay, so first we will do it on the weekly and then we will do it on the daily, and this way we will be able to get the most accurate results here. So let me change the time frame of this the chart. Okay, so this is sorry. Okay, this is the weekly chart. This is the weekly chart of S&P 500 index. Now, if you see in this the weekly chart, let me write it down. This is the weekly chart of S&P 500 index. So if you see this the weekly chart, okay, this last candle, the interpretation of this candle means it is very easy to understand because it is a very heavy candle. This candle, just one candle, okay, it has engulfed the last three candles, one, two, three, weekly, last three weekly candles. Okay, so the month started, okay, from the week of November 1st. Okay, and now it is about to end. So one candle has engulfed these three candles. So because the candle has fully engulfed these last three candles, which means that there are now bear sentiments in the market. Okay, there are now bear sentiments in the market. But there is one more thing that we need to consider here is that we have this moving average. Okay, so earlier this moving average, okay, it was crossed in the week of October 11th, but now we have this moving average. So whenever market comes down, market will find support here. See, this moving average, it will move up to this point. Okay, where we have this trend line, but we will discuss this trend line on the daily chart because trend lines works best on the daily chart, not on the weekly chart. So we have this moving average. So this moving average in the coming week, it will move up and it will be around here, which is our support also. So we have our support at 4575. So which means this moving average and our support of 4575. 4575. So market is going to get very heavy support here, very heavy support. Okay, because of these two. One is the moving average and one is this the support. Now, if market, okay, so means the chances are that market will come down. Market will come down, and whenever market comes down, market will hit this support, and then market will take a rebound. So this rebound, okay, now it will be defined by other support and resistances. Okay, so if you see that immediately we have a resistance at 4633 or sorry, 4634. You can say 4635. 4635. So we have an immediate resistance at 4635. Okay, 4635. So whenever you see a retrace in the market, so market closed at 4594. Okay, so whenever you see a retrace in the market, it will retrace to 4635. Okay, and if it breaches this critical resistance, but the chances are that it won't be. So it will be like okay, let me show you here. So it will be like the market, the chances are market will come down, market will hit this support, it will take a rebound, it will hit this resistance, and then finally it will come down. So this is expected to happen. This is the most obvious flow of the market that we can expect here on the weekly chart. Okay, but it will be more clear on the daily chart. So we were discussing about this, the support and resistance. Then we have another resistance. Now this is the very critical resistance at 4690. 4690. Okay, so it is 4690. Yes, 4690. This is a very critical resistance, and now because the market has come down to 4594 and moving like 100 points, yes, it can. Okay, means if bulls, okay, if they are ready to buy a lot, then yes, it can. But then finally we have very critical support at 4740. 4740. Yes, one more interesting part here. And last week I told you that whenever market hits 4740, because it's a critical resistance, market will come down. Okay, and I will also show you it on the daily chart that the day market hit this 4740, it crossed to 4743, and then immediately it came down heavily. came down heavily. Okay, so 4740, it was the very critical resistance. So this is what I'm telling you for last couple of weeks. So there is no change in the support and resistances for last couple of weeks. Anyway, so these are the support and resistances on the weekly and as well as on the daily chart. Okay, so we were discussing this the movement of the market. Okay, so this is what I told you, that this is most likely to happen here, but it will be more clear on the daily chart. Anyways, so if I do the technical analysis here, okay, first, the interpretation of the candle, it is a very heavy bear candle and it has ended these three candles, which means the sentiments are bearish. Chances are very heavy chances that on Monday, yes, on Monday the market may come down heavily. And if on Monday, if market gets some support because of this trend line on the daily chart, then first the market will hit the trend line, and after hitting the trend line it will bounce back. And then on Monday or Tuesday, okay, maybe Tuesday, okay, yes, Tuesday, most probably Tuesday or Wednesday, so market will hit this resistance, or it may even cross this resistance, and then again market will come down, and this time market will not respect the trend line and market will break the trend line and it will come down. Okay, means finally the weekly candle that you are supposed to see here, means that you are expected to see here the weekly candle. Okay, so it will be either it will be bearish or it will be a very very small bullish candle like this one. Okay, very small bullish candle. So market may try to hold here, and if not, then it will be a bearish candle. Okay, retrace, yes, retrace is expected because there were sudden losses in the market. So for sure retrace is expected. So on Monday or Tuesday, yes, most probably on Monday there will be a retrace in the market if there is no more bad news coming. Okay, from any parts of the world, particularly from WHO. Anyways, we have this is the upper band of the Bollinger Band, and market has closed above the median of the Bollinger Band. Market is still bullish, but it is not now, it is not heavy bullish, it is, you can say that it is weak bullish, it is weak bullish. Now we have the moving averages. There is a clear fan out, in the moving averages, which means that it is still bullish. Then if we look into other technical indicators here, so we have MACD. So last week MACD was bullish. Okay, if you see, MACD was 133 and signal was 125. So last week MACD was bullish, and this week, okay, the MACD has it is flat. MACD is flat, neither bullish nor bearish. It is flat. Okay, signal and MACD, there is a difference of just only one, less than 1 point. Okay, MACD is flat, which means that it is not supporting the bull or the bulls that it was trying to support earlier, but now it is not supporting the bulls. In case of bears, yes, means still it will be too early to say that it is supporting the bears, but as of now MACD is not giving any clear indication on the weekly chart. Now we look into the stock RSI. Stock RSI is clearly bearish because the K channel is less than the D channel. So K channel is 70, D channel is 81. Okay, so it is bearish, clearly bearish, this stock RSI. And if we look into the divergence indicator, so divergence, okay, so divergence last week, divergence was 69.87, almost 70. I told you that divergence is still a critical factor for the market, which means when market moves up and hits 4740, it will come down, and it happened. Okay, so now the divergence has cooled down, okay, and it is at 63.40. That's fine. Momentum, the momentum was earlier, the momentum was building up in favor of bulls, but now the momentum is declining. Okay, and it is heavily declined. Earlier it was 62, almost 62, and now it is just 44. So it has heavily declined. Okay, which means that on the weekly chart, the weekly chart, it is not clear whether the market is bullish or the bearish. So it will be more clear on the daily chart. So daily chart will give us a very clear direction there. So let's move on to the daily chart. Okay, we are here on the daily chart. If you look into this, okay, so let me write it down. So this is the daily chart. Okay, daily chart means one candle represents one day. Okay, so it's not 1 hour or 1 week, it is one day. So these are the daily candles. Okay, so here we go. Now this is the daily chart and these are the daily candles. So the first thing here is the last candle. Okay, yes. So I wanted to show you this thing that okay, this was 1922nd. Okay, 22nd. Yes. So I told you that either on Monday or Tuesday, market may move up and market may cross the high of this candle. But whenever it move up, okay, it will find a very heavy resistance here at 4740. 4740. So this is what I told you that, and whenever it hits 4740, okay, means it's a critical resistance, so market will come down, market must come down. And the market on that day particularly, it came down heavily, okay. Then market was holding up for next 2 days, but by the time, okay, this time November 23rd, okay, it was very clear that now market is bearish. And on November 24th again, it was bearish. And then finally on Friday, okay, there was a news. But even though there would not have been any news, the market was supposed to come down. But yes, on that day the momentum, okay, it were, if means without this the COVID variant news, okay, the market, if market would have come down, then market may have found some support here. And after hitting this part, okay, where we may have seen, okay, some kind of rebound here. So this was without the news of this the COVID variant, and this is with the news of COVID variant. Okay, so only the acceleration was there, otherwise it was moving, okay, exactly as predicted. Anyways, so now this is achieved. Now the interpretation of last candle, it's a very heavy bearish candle, so more, there are very heavy chances market will come down. And this is what I was talking about, this particular point. Okay, this particular point is at 4584, 4584. Okay, so you can say this 4584, or like 80, let's say 4580. Okay, 4580. Then we have this support here. Okay, this is at 4575, 4575. Okay, so now how the market is going to behave. So market, okay, it is most likely to come down. It will hit on Monday. The chances are, means if there is if there means if you do not see a sharp retrace on Monday, in that case market will come and hit this trend line. After hitting the trend line, market will take a U-turn. And when the market takes this U-turn, the market will find a resistance here, and this resistance is at 4635. It is at 4635. Okay, and if somehow it is able to breach this resistance, then it is, now this resistance is the critical resistance at 4690. So this 4690, and see why it is a critical resistance. First, it is the resistance, okay, it, and see all of my these support and resistance, as you are seeing for last couple of months, that all of my support and resistances, okay, they are very significant. Whenever market hits these support and resistances, something happens in the market. So now first we have this resistance, and then we have this very heavy confluence zone, very heavy confluence zone. So when confluence zone, and when this this resistance, okay, when means, because these two things are there, which is why it's a critical resistance here for the market. Now whenever market comes up, so whenever market comes up, and if it breaches this resistance of 4635, it will come and hit this resistance, and then most likely it will come down. It won't be able to break this resistance, okay, and the only way it can break this resistance is like if we see a very heavy candle like this, or maybe like this. Okay, then only we can expect that the market is market has breached the resistance and it is moving up. But otherwise with the candles like this, okay, or these small candles, market cannot, cannot, and market will not break this resistance. Okay. One more thing, all of these, support and resistances, whenever I tell you about this, that this is the support and resistance, always add plus minus 25 to find a zone. So support and resistances are the zones, and the market fluctuates. Okay, so these are the zones, and whenever market crosses a zone, then only we consider it, okay, that it has breached, that it has breached this particular support, sorry, resistance zone, or support zone, and accordingly we trade. So most likely, okay, it is going to take a rebound here on Monday after hitting the trend line. And there is one more thing, if somehow, or if for some reason, if the open of the market is below this trend line, if the open of the market is below the trend line on Monday or on Tuesday, okay, or on Wednesday, any of the day, expect a sharp fall in the market, because in that case it will be a trend line breakout. Okay, and market will see a sharp fall here. Okay, but if market is opening above the trend line, then yes, in that case we can expect some retrace in the market. Otherwise there is a sharp fall in the market. Anyways, so we have discussed this part, support and resistance we have, and we have this. Okay, now let's do the technical analysis here. Okay, first the Bollinger Band. Upper band is here, lower band is here. Market has already breached the lower band, so again there are very heavy chances that it will retrace. It is below the median of the Bollinger Band, which means the market is bearish. Okay, now market is on one side of these moving averages. Okay, these moving averages on one side, and it is on the bear side, which means market is bearish. Okay, and Ichimoku, it is going to hit the Ichimoku soon. Okay, maybe in December. Okay, yep, in December it may hit Ichimoku, or it may enter into Ichimoku on the daily chart. Okay, but through Ichimoku as of now it is bullish. Now if we look into other technical indicators here, we have MACD. MACD is heavily bearish. MACD is heavily bearish. Okay, because MACD is less than signal. MACD is 36 and signal is almost 50. MACD is heavily bearish. It is heavily bearish. Then we have stock RSI. Stock RSI is again bearish. Stock RSI is not just bearish, but it is heavily bearish, because it is less. The K channel is less than 10. Okay, and 10 itself, D channel is itself is 10. Okay, so it is bearish. Then we have divergence. Okay, so divergence has cooled down. So divergence is not creating any more problem to the market. Momentum. Okay, so momentum, it is now started to build in favor of bears. But so we need to wait for next 3 or 4 candles to see if there is enough momentum that is supporting the bears. But as such, through all of the technical indicators, okay, here, market is bearish. So this trend was not clear on the weekly chart, but this trend is clear on the daily chart, that the market is bearish. So now my advice is that okay, so advice is that sell on rebound. Okay, let me this part here. So I was saying sell on rebound. So first, let the market form a lower high. Okay, so most likely market is going to form a lower high, and see See, market is not going anywhere until it crosses the high of this candle, which was 4743. Okay, so it was 4743. Okay, so market is not going anywhere until it crosses the high of 4743. So the thing is that whenever it moves up or whenever you see a rebound, particularly at this particular place, okay, this is when you can see a fall in the market. Or when it hits this particular place, then you can see a fall in the market. Okay, means these are the resistances. So this is sell on rebound. So let it rebound and then sell. And if you see that market, yes, there is one more thing. Okay, you can also make money here. So if you see that the market on Monday itself, market is coming down. Okay, and market is coming down heavily. Then we have this very strong support here. It is at 4527. So it is at 4527. Okay, so market will come down and market will hit 4527. After hitting the 4527, market will retrace heavily. See, market will hit. I'm not saying that market will retrace. I'm saying market will retrace heavily. Okay, and this case will be seen only when market breaches this part, okay, this trend line on Monday, okay, or on Tuesday, yes, Tuesday also, and it comes down heavily and it hits 4527, this particular zone. Okay, see, we have this the confluence zone here. So when it comes, okay, and when it hits here, so we have confluence zone also. This we have our strong support. It will hit and then you will see a very sharp rebound in the market. When this rebound you see, then this rebound, okay, then the market will try to build a lower high, and on lower high, what we do on lower high, we always sell. Okay, so we always sell on lower high. So sell on lower high, and then you can see that the market is coming down. Okay. Okay, guys. So I have given the link of my the Discord group. Okay, and the details of this the Google spreadsheet in the description of the video and also in the comment section, so you can take a look. Okay, and if you are interested to join my Discord group to make 30% profits, quarterly, then you can send me an email, and I have given the email address in the sheet also and also in the description. And also I have given the links to my options trading programs, okay, options strategies programs in the description of the video. Okay, and if you're interested, so you can take a look. Okay, guys, so this was the technical analysis of S&P 500 index for the week commencing from November 29th 2021.